expression, young and naive, relates to a time in life when we had trust in those around us, when we weren't suspicious of their motives, and when we threw ourselves into things expecting the best. However, unfortunately, as we grow older, we are forced to realize that those around us don't always have our best intentions at heart. It is easy to become cynical and closed off, becoming afraid to let people in. But this does prevent us from experiencing some of the best emotions in life. So, in order to stop this cycle, we need to use the power of faith to rebuild our faith in others. So, tap into your inner child and remember the time where you believed the world was good.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's Finding Answers. We are live here once again in our North London studios. And tonight's topic is having faith in others. And as the voiceover just said, it takes, courage, sometimes, trust in order to have faith in others. Maybe you've lost your faith in other people that have let you down, people who are very close to you. Family members, very close friends who you've confided in. Maybe you've confided in a teacher, someone who has a standing in society. But that trust has been broken. So how do you get to trust someone again? How do you get to have faith in people? Maybe you are alone right now. I mean, you have lots of people around you, but you don't open up. You don't feel as though there are people there that would listen to you and actually keep what you want to say to them a secret. Maybe you feel as though your trust has been broken. So that's tonight's program. And as we said, through faith, you can start to trust again. Maybe your partner has cheated on you. Maybe you confided in someone, something very secretive, something very personal. But in the age of social media, everyone knows about your personal issues. And it's spread like wildfire. And now it's come back on you. And now you've closed up and you don't trust people anymore. So how can the power of faith, how can faith help you to trust again? With me tonight, it's Rachel. Rachel, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm well. So, trust and having faith in others, right? You need to really have confidence in that person, right? If you open up to them and tell them personal stories, personal things that you're going through, you really have to believe that they'll keep that a secret.
Yes, you do have to believe that. But I think before you can believe that, I think people actually place too much emphasis on finding faith in other people and not actually on finding faith within themselves or actually standing for what they believe in themselves. So I'm actually kind of looking at it from the point of view that we should restore this faith within ourselves and actually make the change or be the change that we want to see in the world, which is, it's cliche, but I think it's actually true. Because I mean, if you think about somebody, for instance, like Nelson Mandela, I mean, he would never have ended the apartheid if he'd just kind of followed the crowd, or if he was constantly looking for faith in other places. I mean, he was always, he went to prison for 27 years and stood for what he believed in. And if he'd actually just gone out there and tried to follow the crowd, or he'd said, oh look, there's humanity isn't that bad, I can ignore the bad and I can just focus on the good, then that's fine, then things are okay. And I think that's the thing, a lot of videos, it's very common, videos are posted these days and people say, oh, this restored my faith in humanity. But actually, don't look at that. Just restore your own faith and go out there and take action for the things that aren't good, that you don't like in the world. And we actually have figures which show that the young generation right now are the least trusting, especially of politicians and of society kind of in general. And because of that, I think that they know, and they know that they do have, or we do have, the power to change things through, especially things like social media. But we don't always take that because we think, oh, you know, it's fine, someone else will do it, or no one will hear my voice. And I think actually we need to believe in ourselves instead of looking to other places for this.
Well, that's what we do here on Finding Answers. Every guest that comes on the program, they learn to develop that faith within themselves. No matter what issues they have gone through. Through faith, they came to a place of worship. They found help, you know, in prayer. They started learning about themselves and developing, you know, that ability to believe in themselves again. And that's the power of faith. This is what God wants to do in your lives. God is not just a magician that will just produce miracles in people's lives. God wants to restore back self-belief in you, that you are able to achieve things. And my guest for this evening is no exception. And she lost faith. She couldn't open up to people that were close to her regarding the problems that she was facing. But you're going to hear her story later on. All right? So if you would like help in this, maybe you've lost faith, you've lost trust in others, and maybe your self-esteem has gone down because of it. You know, you are not the same person, bubbly person, confident person that you used to be. You're hiding in your shell. You're an introvert now, and people don't recognize you anymore. Then tonight's program will help you. A real life story tonight. Her story will help you restore back faith in yourself and in real people around you, people that you can trust. If you want to contact us, if you'd like to give us a call and speak in confidence to one of our helpers, then the number's on the screen now. It's 0207 686 6300. That's 0207 686 6300. If you want to send an email to us, if you want to send us a tweet, if you want to look at our posts on Facebook, then what do they need to do?
Yes, don't be a twit and get in touch with us. So get in touch with us on Facebook at Finding Answers. The same with Instagram, we're at Finding Answers, and on Twitter, we're at Find Answers TV. So we post on them regularly, so do have a look. We've got some behind the scenes pictures there as well.
If you want to know what's on Rachel's feet, then you can go to, is it on Instagram?
It's on Instagram, yeah.
It's on Instagram. Have a look at the behind the scenes photos there. All right. Now let's have a look before we go for a break. Let's have a look at this real life story of someone who through faith got help. Have a look at this.
Well, my life before was an absolute mess. You know, before finding faith, I grew up in an environment that was very drug and crime related. So everything that I saw and the people that I dealt with, my mum, my family, were all heavily involved in that life. And it sort of was the only life that I knew. Even though that's not what I wanted, I knew that's never the road that I wanted to take, but it was the only one I knew. The worst moment of my life, I could say, was when my mum started losing her clients, her contacts, and so consequently she started losing a lot of money. And it became so bad up to the point where we couldn't even afford to buy milk. We were going to my grandma's house for food. It was disastrous, and I was not used to that. You know, I grew up being the girl that would always be after school buying everyone sweets because I had loads of money. You know, money wasn't a problem for me then. But then at this point, everything became scarce, no money for anything. So that was the lowest point. After finding faith, me, my mom and my sister, we really learned how to use it to advantage. So we used it to find like where my mom was really heavily reliant on the income of her criminal life and stuff like that. She learned how to use faith to get a job, to start school, which she stopped so many years ago. And things started moving forward. She got a job, she got a really good job, she used her faith in that. And same with us, we use our faith in our careers in school. And then now it's a lot different. My life today is brilliant, you know. I have hope, I have prospects, I have a future, I'm getting married soon, I have a good job. I no longer rely on sort of the criminal activities of my family to support me, I'm supporting myself. And it's such a contrast and different to the life that I had before, where it was really criminal based, so much wrong and negativity, as opposed to today, really positive, moving forward and really looking forward to the future.
So through faith, she accomplished things she thought that was not possible. And, you know, this is what faith does. It restores hope. It restores confidence and assurance in yourself, all right? So we're going to go for a break now. And if you want to learn how to use faith, faith is that key that we need in order to tap into this power that God has. You know, you have faith. You just need to know how to use it, how to connect with it to see the results that you want. And on tonight's program, it's no different from any other on Finding Answers. We're going to show you a real life story of someone who did find that connection with God. All right? We'll be back right after this break.
All systems are go. We're about to work it, make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger.
My Channel TV, featuring a kaleidoscopic daily dose of programming. Stay with us every day and explore politics, economics, science, technology, lifestyle, culture, sports, and much more. We're here to amuse you, to keep you updated, and to keep you company. We're My Channel, your channel on Sky 203.
Do the maths. Changing your life is not as simple as changing your hairstyle, your shirt, or rearranging the furniture in your living room. You're talking about years of deep-rooted habits, behaviours and problems that are not going to change overnight. Many may say, think positively, but the trouble with that is that you can't do or change anything with just thoughts. But add action into the equation and the outcome can be different. Let's do the maths. Positive thinking plus action equals a change. Whatever it is, if the change is significant, if it's worthwhile, then it will have to take time, effort, and homework from you.
Hi, I'm Chrissy B and my show is all about improving your mental health and being happy. Join me every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 10 p.m. on my channel Sky 203. Visit chrissybshow.tv for more information and subscribe to our YouTube channel Chrissy B Show. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Chrissy B Show and on our Facebook page, The Chrissy B Show.
All systems are go. We're about to
Welcome back to Finding Answers. If you just joined us, our topic tonight is having faith in others. Now, I want to introduce you to my guest for this evening. Her name is Patricia Matondo.
It's pushing me for the rest of the week, so it's like a boost.
Things were really tight.
Today, the way I see myself is completely different.
So, Patricia, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Now, having faith in others, you have quite a story to tell, and it started when you were quite young, right?
Yes.
Tell us what problems did you go through? Because many of our guests on the program, they kind of go through similar things that you went through. So tell us about the things you went through.
Well, the main problem that I faced was a deep feeling of depression. It started when I was very young. Growing up, my parents were always together, so as a child I was always really happy. But when they started to have problems, when they started to argue, that's when I felt like that base that was my support just fell apart. That security fell apart, and I found myself feeling really lost. I didn't know who I was. I felt like it was my fault. So that turned into a deep sadness, and that sadness turned into a very deep depression.
So did your parents actually separate?
Eventually they did, yeah.
They did. And it's funny that children normally blame themselves for their parents.
Because you feel stuck in the middle. You feel like you're trying to keep them together, and because you're not able to, it's like you failed. And everything that goes wrong kind of becomes your fault, but all of that is happening inside your own mind.
Do you have siblings?
Yeah, I have
Were
sisters.
they affected at that time also?
I think we were all affected in different ways, but they were really young. So it was more me and my older brothers.
How old were you at that time that this started to happen?
From what I could remember, I was maybe coming up to 10.
Right.
From 7 to 10, between that period.
So you weren't that young. You knew everything that was going on, right? And you're at that age where, as you said, you started to kind of blame yourself, right? Tell me, you felt really low, but you said you got into deep depression. Tell us what sort of things would you feel or go through?
Well, at the start, it was just a sadness that I couldn't explain. And then that sadness felt like hopelessness. The only way I can really think to describe it is like inside there's nothing. You feel like you're nothing. You feel like you can't achieve anything, and you're just stuck in this bubble of negativeness in your mind. You can't see the woods from the trees. You can't hope for anything because hope just doesn't exist for you anymore. That's how it feels. So I just felt like I was nothing.
Would you feel that way only at home, or did you kind of escape? Was school an escape for you? Or did
I
you
felt
feel
like
empty
that
at school
all the time. So I try to do different things. I will be with my friends, but I'll feel like I want to be by myself. But when I'm by myself, I want to be surrounded by people. When I will go home, I will just go straight to my room, lock myself in the dark, and just sit in a corner.
Really?
Yeah.
In the dark in your room?
In the dark, I would cover myself. Sometimes my sister would come and she wouldn't understand why everything is dark. It felt like I had many voices in my head screaming many things. So sometimes I would cover my head with a pillow and just scream as loud as I could. But that feeling never went away. It was just like falling in a big hole.
A pit.
A pit.
Yeah, a deep pit.
A deep pit, and there's no bottom. You just keep falling.
Right. Did your family, kind of your parents, did they kind of know what you were going through? Did they sense something was not right with you?
My mum could sense that something was wrong, but I would never open up to her, so she couldn't find a way to help me because she remembers me being always bubbly, always talking, and I went from that person to someone that was very quiet, that would just sit there or lock herself away from everyone.
So that kind of knocked your self-esteem, right? And everything about you.
I didn't have any self-esteem. I just didn't believe I could do anything. Although at school I was achieving, I was doing well, but for some reason in my mind, I couldn't process that I was doing well.
Right.
I could only see that I cannot do it.
Did it, you felt low, you felt empty, it was like dark. Did it affect you in any other ways?
I started not being able to sleep at night. I think this was more because of the voices. I felt suicidal at times. I just wanted to end everything.
Was this like 10, from 10 years old?
By then, I'd probably say around 14.
Okay, so this is going on for at least 4 years.
It stopped when I was about 19.
Right. But the voices, tell us, because, there are people who are probably going through the same thing. They're hearing these voices, if not literal voices, then these thoughts in their head telling them, take your life, end it, you're useless, you're not worth it. And it could be for different reasons, but those voices are there. So what would these voices or thoughts tell you?
It depends on where I was, but all of it was always geared towards ending my life. If I was standing at the edge of the stairs, it would say, just throw yourself and end it all. If I was going to cross the road, I would play in my mind, the car would hit me and that would end it all. Or if I was on the bus or a train, just stay there until it goes to somewhere far. So it was always like that. If I was around knives, just cut yourself.
That thought would say that, or voice?
Anything negative, that is what the voice would say. But it will always try to push me towards ending my life.
Now, was it a thought or was it a voice, like you're hearing mine?
I think it's a mixture of both. At first it was just a thought, but as it got worse, it was like I was hearing voices, but it's all inside my own head.
Yeah.
So,
you know, you might be watching now, listening to what Patricia is saying, and maybe you're going through the same thing. Whatever, it may not be a breakup in your parents' relationship or in the family. It could be something else. But the fact that you are getting these thoughts, how come you are getting it? You know, you can identify what Patricia is saying. You know, these type of things, it's not a physical, it's not to do with the incident that took place and it's maybe continuing. It's something spiritual. There is negativity there, right? You know, how come not having that and now all of a sudden these thoughts or voices tell you, end your life, take your life, it's not worth living. You know, you're going to be out of your misery if you take your own life. This is not right. This is not normal at all. And, you know, through faith, you're going to find out how faith is, we can say, spiritual, but it's a positive side of the spirituality, whereas these voices are the negative side of things. And you're going to learn how you can overcome this too, as Pat will share with myself and you, right? So you had these thoughts, you know, did you ever try to take your life? Did you?
A few times, but I couldn't go through with it. I always thought of my younger sisters. I thought, who's going to take care of them? What are they going to do? I think the closest I got was to jump out the window, but someone walked in just as I was
You were about to jump out your window?
Yeah.
Well, what floor were you on?
It's like the second floor. If I jumped, I would not be here.
Really? You were about to? Who walked in?
I think it was my mum or my sister. I can't remember properly. I just remember someone opening the door and I stepped back from the edge.
Now, you can imagine if you had done that, imagine what your mum would think. Yeah. Patricia, I don't know why she did it, right?
She would be very confused. She wouldn't understand at all.
Because you didn't open up to her.
Yes.
And because you went through all of that, probably your parents were the last people you open up to.
Yeah.
Did you open up to, I don't know, teachers at school or a best friend or anything like that?
I think the closest I got to was speaking to my friend, but she couldn't really understand and she was going through her own things, so I gave up.
So you told no one?
No one.
You could have left this world
and
no one would have known.
No one would know.
The reason why, right? They could have guessed. Oh, she was not happy, she was bullied. But no one would ever know. And maybe this is what you're going through. You haven't opened up to anyone, if it's a doctor, a counsellor, your best friend, your spouse, right? Your children. You haven't opened up. I just want to say to you that you are not alone in this. Even on this program, we have the helpline. It's on the screen. Please, can you put the number on the screen? You know, if you want to open up and talk to someone, we are here for you. Don't keep what you're going through a secret. And believe me, we are talking about spiritual things on this program, on finding answers. Nothing will surprise us, believe me. You may think to yourself, I'm alone. If I share what I'm going through with people here, they're going to think I'm crazy. We're not going to think you're crazy. If you're a regular viewer to this program, you'd have heard the most craziest stories that people have gone through, right? But we know that there's a spiritual root behind it, and only faith can deal with that. So we won't think you're crazy. We will listen, we'll understand, but we'll also teach you how to use your faith. Pat, so you were down, you couldn't sleep.
Couldn't sleep.
How long did you have this problem for?
From the sleeping, I would say from about 9 years, from 9 to 19.
9 years. And was it every night? Was it that, people on our show, on our program, tell us that, they sleep up to a certain point and they can't go back to sleep, or they're tossing and turning throughout the night, or literally they don't sleep at night, but they'll sleep through the day. So how did it affect you?
I think at first is I can go to sleep until a certain time, but then I would get this really terrible nightmares where I feel like I'm fighting someone. So they got really bad that I just didn't go to sleep because I felt afraid to go to sleep. So during the day, when it's the early hours of the day, that's when I will try to sleep. But of course, I'll be irritable throughout the day. I'll feel exhausted. That feeling was even worse because I was tired. And that was just the cycle all the time. So during the night, I would try and do things.
Every night?
Every night.
What did you try to do to fill that time?
I would do my work, I would listen to music, anything that would come to my mind to do. As long as I don't have to go to sleep, I'll do it.
And was this through school and then did you go to college?
Yep.
So it affected
everything.
Your grades, did it?
In some subjects, yes. Of course, at school, I just felt tired. Or I wouldn't... At the beginning, I was sociable with my friends and everything. But as it got worse, I became more closed. I remember one incident, some of my friends were like, I don't know what's wrong with her. Because I would just change and not say anything. I would stay in the corner by myself. Was that because
you were tired and irritable?
Yeah, and I just felt horrible. I didn't want to be alive. I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be anywhere.
Maybe what you're hearing from Pat, you can relate to. And I want you to stay tuned because after the break, you're going to find out how faith helped her to beat this. Before we go for the break, was there any other things you experienced as well?
I think they were the worst ones. Not being able to sleep, wrestling someone in the night. And
wrestling?
Literally feel like you're fighting.
Did you wake up in like sweating and stuff like that?
One time I woke up with an actual mark on my leg. That was this, I think from there it was like, I'm not sleeping anymore.
Right.
That was the worst one.
So you were literally tormented.
Yes.
Right, on a nightly basis.
And the worst thing is, I felt like I couldn't speak about it because I didn't know if anyone will understand. I literally thought if I speak about this, someone's going to lock me up.
Yeah, and that's what I mentioned before, right? If you're afraid of calling, you're afraid of talking because we may think you're crazy, and we don't think that. Listen to what she's saying. We don't think she's crazy. We know that there are these types of things that do go on, and we totally understand, and that's why we're here. We want you to find the answers to these problems. After the break, we're going to hear how Patricia got her life back through prayer. Okay? Stay tuned. We'll see you after this break.
All systems are go. We're about to...
Come on, spin me around now. I don't wanna go home. 'Cause when you hold me like this, you know my heart skips a beat. I know I should, but I can't leave it alone. And when you hold me like this, that's when my heart skips a beat. You gotta love this, man.
The pursuit of happiness. What will make you happy? Success? Fame? New shoes? Financial security? Love? Education? Independence? Family? Sometimes in the pursuit of things we think will bring us happiness, Sometimes we fail to see that we aren't happy, or we never find it. We live in a world of people. Rather than pursue things to make you happy, what if we all worked to make each other happy? Wouldn't we all be happier?
All systems are go. We're about to
Welcome back to Finding Answers, and tonight we're looking at faith and having faith in others. So do you agree with George Michael? Do we gotta have faith? Let us know through the social media. Please do get in touch with us on Facebook and Instagram at Finding Answers, and on Twitter at Find Answers TV, because we would love to hear what you think on tonight's topic, and we'll include it later on in the show. In the meantime though, check out the street interviews from this week.
We question our friends' morals, but when they've done something wrong, is it ever right for us to interfere? I'm going to find out what the public think on tonight's topic. And if two of your friends were in a relationship and you found out one had cheated, what would you do?
No, I'm not the bearer of the bad tidings. I'll stay out of it.
I'd definitely tell on them. I can't stand people who cheat. I just think it's dishonest and unnecessary, and if you feel like you're falling out of love with somebody, then just be honest.
I think I'll be someone that they can go to and give them some guidance, but I don't think I would do anything or act on their behalf or say something to that other person. So I think I'm sort of someone they can come to and speak to, but yeah, I'm not going to dictate what they should do.
I would encourage them to confess to their partner, and if they didn't, then I would probably be the one to break it to them. So honesty is the best policy. Yes. What's the biggest deterrent for you when it comes to having faith in others?
I think the biggest deterrent would be, not fully trusting that person. If that person, I spoke to that person about something very confidential, but maybe they were a bit two-faced and they spoke to someone about, that personal issue that I confided them in. So, it's trusting. I wouldn't want to speak to someone, just for the sake of doing it. And I think that's where many people go wrong, as Rachel kind of hinted. If you don't have faith in yourself, then you are going to open up to every single person in order to try and get some help. So, that's it. If the person is two-faced, if you don't trust them, then I wouldn't confide in that person. And this brings me on to Pat and how she changed her life. She learnt what to do at a place of worship. And you're going to find out now how she got there and what she learnt. So, Patricia, tell us. You don't mind me calling you Pat?
No, I don't.
So tell us then, how did you get help in the things that you mentioned in before the break?
Well, like I mentioned previously, my mum, she was getting worried about me. She wasn't sure how she could help me. And she had been attending her place of worship that it helped her with dealing with many things. And she decided that today you're going to come with me.
What type of help did your mum get?
I think it was to deal with the things she was going through internally because of the breakup, coming to a new country, everything. She was always positive.
Right.
Whenever she would come back, no matter what obstacles were there, she would always say, no, we can do it. And she would always find a way. I think in one way that kind of made me trust her when she said you have to come, although I didn't want to come with her.
Right. So she literally, we could say, dragged you along.
Yes.
Right? And you decided to go along. And what did you discover there?
Hope. Because when I got there, I didn't first understand how it would help me. I didn't see how everything fitted together, because I didn't really believe anymore. I just didn't believe that things could change.
Did you believe in God? Did you ever pray before that?
Before, yes, but when everything started to happen, I lost faith completely. I just didn't think he existed, because if he did, why was these things happening to me?
Right.
But when I came there, I was listening to the messages, and it seemed like they were talking about my life, everything that I was going through. So already there, I thought, well, I'm not so crazy after all.
Right. You heard people
who had
maybe
gone through
talking about similar experiences.
Couldn't sleep at night. People who were hearing voices, they were having that feeling of helplessness, of depression. And I thought, oh, so I'm not the only person then.
Right.
Maybe I can get help. Prayers were offered, and even though I didn't really understand properly, I decided to go for it.
Right. So what did you do?
I just took part in the prayer. I really opened up myself to it and believed in what I was hearing. That night, the first time I went that night was the first night that I slept properly.
Was it 9 years?
And for me, that was a sign. It was like, this is the sign. So there must be something different about this place.
Let me ask you that first night, if you can go back. Were you kind of a bit hesitant or afraid? Or was it like, you know what, I'm just going to go to sleep and trust in what I heard?
The funny thing is, I didn't even realize until I woke up the next day. On the way home with my mum, I was so excited about everything that I've seen, everything that I heard, that I was talking like before. I was really bubbly, asking her so many questions. When I got home, I just went to sleep. I didn't even realize that I actually went until I woke up and I realized that I actually slept.
Right.
I can't believe I just slept. And then I remembered the prayer. And there was a part of the prayer that said, those of you who could not sleep, you're going to sleep like never before. And for me, that was the sign that I needed.
Right.
And from there, I felt like, okay, maybe I can speak to these people about what I'm going through. It wasn't an instant thing, or this is everything I'm going through and everything is terrible. It wasn't like that. It was really a step by step. And each time that I spoke about first what I felt about my family, I felt like everything was falling apart and I didn't know how we would come back together. They always said, of course it can. And they would give me little step-by-step things that I could do. But first of all, it started with changing me on the inside, seeing myself differently, the way that I thought about myself, letting go of all the hurt that I kept. And as I did that and it worked, I trusted them more to open up about other things.
Right.
So when I would be there, it was the prayer, it was the support, it was the advice. So when I left, I felt positive inside, I felt stronger, I felt more confident about myself. The more I came, I found my self-esteem again.
So the depression, that low, really low feeling, when did that actually kind of leave?
I think I would say about 3 months into coming.
Right.
And then from there, it was like building up who I was, finding myself again. And yeah, they have lots of different activities. So I was involved in a group for youths, and I was just involved in everything. So everything that I thought that I could not do, that was the exact thing that they would involve me in. So it helped me to develop talents that I didn't even know.
What talents did you get to know about yourself?
Photography, drama production.
Really?
And putting events together.
Yeah.
Because I think probably one of the biggest highlights was we put a massive event and I had to coordinate things. This is from someone who didn't even want to speak to telling loads of people, okay, we're going to do this and we're going to put there. And I also discovered that I have really good ideas, but I never used to believe in them. I never thought that these ideas would be anything.
No, all of that was locked away, right inside, hidden there, because of just a simple kind of thing that could happen in most people's families, but it affected you really badly.
Yeah.
And your talent, which you had, was hidden and locked away. And if it wasn't for faith, if it wasn't for God, as you said, as you mentioned, you may not be even here today to tell your story, right?
Exactly.
How long was it from actually going to, you know, everything kind of completely going, Pat being Pat?
I would say about a year. A year for the full change.
Fully opening up, then putting into practice what you learned.
I would say a year, because it was step by step, each step, until by a year I was me.
Right. Who is Pat today?
Pat is someone who is confident, who is happy. I'm with my family, my mom and my dad, and
it's like full circle now. So back to your mum and dad.
Yeah.
How are they?
They're fine. They ask me for advice now. So my family actually, although they're not together, it's actually a family that is together to get along fine. And that was possible also through faith. Because I remember when I came, one of the advisors, he told me, through you, your whole family is going to change. I thought he was crazy. By then I hadn't even changed yet. But the change in me kind of made my sister think, okay, why is she changing? Where is this place that you're going to? And the same thing that my mom did for me, I did for them. And one by one, my family.
So your sister started going along to the place of worship as well.
And she changed because with her, the breakup made her into someone that lashed out. So she went with the wrong crowd and had her own secret life. And my other sister, she just closed herself off completely.
Right.
So all of us came and we just changed, and that change affected the whole family.
Right. So does faith work?
It definitely works. It removes every boundary that you have to the point where you feel like you can do anything.
Right. Pat, very inspirational. I'm sure it's going to help many people who are watching tonight, okay? Thank you very much for coming and sharing your story with us.
Welcome.
Now, you've heard her story. It is possible for your life to completely change. To believe, first of all, in yourself, and also to believe that there is help out there. You just need to find that right help. And tonight, the prayer will be for you who want to find faith, belief, self-belief in yourself, because that's where it starts. And with God, it is absolutely possible, okay? Get your glass of water ready, because after the break, we will be saying a prayer together. Myself, for you. If you want to join me, I'll see you after this quick break.
All systems are go. We're about to
Follow My Channel's updates on Facebook. Like your favorite videos and see pictures of your favorite artists. Access our Twitter @MyChannelUK and get to know what's on with My Channel. Visit tvmychannel.com and be connected to our world. My Channel, a whole new world of entertainment.
Hi everyone, I'm James.
And I am Helena.
Join us here every Saturday at 3 p.m. for Love Talk,
the show that teaches you how to love intelligently.
On My Channel Sky 203.
See you there.
Love Talk on My Channel Sky 203 every Saturday 3 p.m.
All systems are go. We're about to
Welcome back to Finding Answers. Now, before we go for the prayer, we have a new segment on the program, and I want to show you something special, especially for those with an addiction. Have a look at this.
Well, my friends, I'm here today with Julie, and she has a powerful story to share because she managed to overcome addiction. Let's learn how. Let's learn what she did. Hello, Julie.
Hi.
I heard that you had a problem with addiction before. How did it start?
Well, I had many problems. I grew up in an alcoholic family where, everyone drank. From very young, I drank. So then I got into a relationship and I got married to a man who was an alcoholic. When our marriage broke down, I turned to alcohol because many other things started happening. I developed an incurable blood disorder.
All right, but out of everything that you could turn to seek for help, why alcohol?
It was natural for me to do because I had these thoughts in my head. I wanted to commit suicide. The thoughts were, kill yourself, but first kill your children. And that bothered me. So I turned to alcohol.
You came to the point of thinking about killing yourself, killing the children, killing...
The thought in my head was, kill yourself because what's the point of living? But kill the children first because don't leave them for them to suffer, people to look after them, that sort of stuff. So that bothered me a lot.
Tell me about the rock bottom of this situation.
At the time when the doctors told me that I would have to have my leg amputated because I had this incurable blood disorder, that was rock bottom. But I still kept going on drinking, going to work drunk. I used to work for an alcohol rehabilitation center.
No ways.
I did.
But going to work drunk?
Drunk, yes.
Did they spot you drunk?
No, I hid it very well because I use mouthwash, I use lots of perfume.
And then from going to work drunk, suicidal,
incurable.
Full of problems, with incurable disease. How did you manage to change the situation?
Well, my son, one of the boys that I wanted to kill, went past this help center and he started attending with his girlfriend at the time, and they invited me to come. And I came, and there they taught me what I needed to do to overcome the problems that I was facing inside, especially problems I had inside. They showed me that I had a power inside of me that I could use to overcome the problems that I had.
And that means to overcome addiction.
Yes.
You found a method.
Yes.
You found a way out there.
Yes.
And what changed first?
Peace. I received peace on the very first day. And after that, it gave me the strength to carry on. And as I came, day by day I come.
But you used to drink every day.
I used to drink every day, yes.
Every day?
Yes.
So the addict normally has the urge for using the element, normally has the desire, the craving.
Yeah.
Oh, where is this craving then? Where is the desire then? Because from drinking every day to just finding peace wouldn't stop, or did it stop?
Well, what they were showing to me, what they were telling me to do, I practiced. I did what I was asked to do. And the more I did, the better I felt. The desire to drink went. It just went.
Just went away?
Yes, because I did what I was advised to do.
So you followed the discipline of the method?
Yes.
And the urge, the thoughts, did it keep going?
No, the thoughts went. Those negative suicidal thoughts went. And I continued coming, and one by one, every single problem I had disappeared, because not only suicidal, I couldn't sleep at nights. I used to take sleeping tablets as well as alcohol to sleep. And I also used to have nightmares. I had grudges. I had hatred in my heart. And all those things combined didn't help me.
All right, comparing Julie today to the Julie before. How are you today?
Today I'm free from all the problems I had. I'm no longer an alcoholic. I was healed from the incurable blood problem I had. And I'm not suicidal.
Did your life change?
Drastically. Now, I'm very happy from inside because that peace never left me. So I'm very, very happy, and I'm pleased about that. I'm pleased that I came.
So Julie, tell me, in your opinion, because they say that once an addict, always an addict. Once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. There is a solution for an alcoholic person.
Well, from my experience, I don't have a problem with alcoholism anymore. The urge is no longer there. Nothing is there. Absolutely
So
nothing.
Julie, tell me, for how long have you been clean?
I've been clean since 1997.
No urge?
Absolutely none.
No desire?
Nope.
No thoughts about going back?
No. There's nothing inside that wants me to drink out.
Who is Julie today?
Julie today is very happy. I'm at peace. And I'm moving forward with my life. I'm not going back ever again.
Thank you for having me here, Julie, today. As you saw, there is a way out. You can give us a call now, 020-7686-6300, to find out more about how to find help for addiction.
Like Pat, who doesn't have depression anymore, Julie does not have any of those problems anymore. And the reason is through the power of faith. Addictions are possible to overcome. Depression and everything that Pat spoke about, it is possible to be free from them. If you want to receive this prayer now, then get your glass of water ready, because it's time for prayer.
Prepare now for the moment of prayer. If you would like us to make a prayer concerning your family and loved ones, send your name and prayer request to help@findinganswers.tv.
My God, you said that we should believe that all things are possible. And my God, this person who has lost faith in themselves, even if they have, it is absolutely possible for their lives to completely change. And that's why every night at the end of the real life story, we have this prayer. Because through the power of faith, we believe that no matter how difficult this person's problem is, they can be different, they can change. My God, if this person tonight watching this program has lost faith, not only in themselves, faith in others, they can't sleep, they are depressed, they have an addiction, people have written them off as a lost case. My God, we are here because we believe in them. We believe that they can change because we believe in you. You are the one that changed Pat's life. You're the one that changed Julie's life. You're the one that changed my life. So I believe, my God, that you can change this viewer now. Father, if they are holding a glass of water in their hands, may you bless it now. If they are not, then I bless them now, my God, as they believe, as you see just a small ounce of hope that they have inside of them to change. My God, let this change take place tonight. Bless this glass of water. If they couldn't sleep, if they're losing peace, they don't have anything with them, Lord, I pray that this change will take place from this moment onwards, in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Drink this water now and receive a change. Receive now the beginning of a new you, in Jesus' name. There you have it, all right? I believe in you. We in Finding Answers, we believe that your life can change. And I believe something has happened now after this prayer. And as Pastor Roland said, if you want to give us a call, if you want to talk to someone, then the lines are still open for the next few minutes. You can give us a call on 0207 686 6300. Until the next time, have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.